Welcome to another episode of Varinheim. Legitimately hold their honor. Uh,
Uh-oh.
Eh,
yes.
all right, introduce us.
You
Introduce
got
us
this.
there, G. Uh,
Juju.
Aw. And welcome to another episode of Varenheim. We're glad to have you all this evening. Before we get started, just wanted to give a shout out to our sponsor, D&D Beyond, which is an online digital tool set for DMs and characters where you can leave your characters, your NPCs, your enemies, all in one place where you can actually keep track of all the stuff that they may have or their abilities in one spot for you to find. Now, before we get started, I want to give you a quick recap of what happened in last session. Last session, we started with a brutal combat between our group of adventurers in the town of Creighton fighting a demon known as a Babao and a forest just outside of the actual town itself. The combat was actually rather quick, with Tanathil at the very start being hit, almost took him out in one hit. And afterwards, they took the information that they learned from the creature from killing it. What a surprise. To the lawmaster Kilveth and the advisor Mudrik, who we're currently talking about apparently getting rid of Rhea Ravenwood, the townsguard that we met at the beginning of this campaign. As they arrived, quite a few of our members, Emerald, Tanathil, Fida, had some pretty shaken, as I say, feelings towards Kilveth. They weren't quite trusting of her, which that distrust proved to be correct when they started to leave. Emerald heard her talk about sending a detachment to the woods, something that they did not explicitly told her, thus revealing that she knew something more than what she let on about. But first, the group decided to go talk with Rhea Ravenwood herself, at least Emerald and Fida did, so that they could apologize and express remorse for the fact that Fida accidentally took part in the death of Isa Newman by being the one to create the ritual circle that was found in the Decay Woods outside of town. As they then left there to go back to the ritual site, they stumbled upon an individual in the center who they had left back near the Lawmaster's jail. It was Garrick, wounded severely with stab wounds all over, a bloodied rug in the shape of a wolf at his feet, with Night Stalker nowhere to be found. And that is where we pick up today. So, Saphira, if I'm not mistaken, you had just at the end of last session called forth the group because you were the one that stumbled upon Garrick.
Yes, she was calling for Emerald's help because Garrick was injured and looking around for Night Stalker, who she did not see, and keeping eyes and ears both open on the wood line around them because they might not be alone.
I would say, like, as like he's calling you guys over, I just want to say that Garrick is like kind of hunched over. If I'm not mistaken, he's pretty much fallen forward. His breathing is rather labored. He's holding on just barely, though. What is everyone else doing?
I'm going to lean down and check on Derek, see if this is like dire injuries or what's going on.
As you kind of like walk up, you can begin to see like the how extensive the wounds are. You see, there's multiple stab wounds. There's blood still oozing out. You can see that his, as I mentioned just before, his breathing is labored. He's got hardly any strength to hold himself up. And he's just kind of holding on to the rug, this white wolf rug that's bloodied. He's holding it with his right hand. He's just trying to like keep it in his grasps as his breathing just barely there. He's just out of breath, it seems. You can tell that he could use some medical treatment.
As Emerald's looking over Garrick, Saphira has bow drawn with an arrow knocked but not drawn, and is not watching him but watching the woods around, but mentions he did buy a few potions. He might still have some in his bag.
Roll perception.
Is that me as the one looking over Garrick currently, or is that Sophia?
Are you talking about seeing the wounds, or
If Stalker's telling me there may be potions, would that
he's
be...
talking? I would say
me
you're talking
looking?
to Emerald.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's talking to you there, Emerald.
So he's rolling the perception.
You're rolling the perception to keep an eye on the area.
Oh, okay.
Are you wanting to take a moment there, Emerald, to kind of dig through his belongings to try and see if he's got those potions he's referring to?
Yes.
24.
24.
Would that be an investigation then?
Yes. As you're kind of like scanning the horizons there, Saphira, you're noticing small amounts of movement of the wildlife kind of wandering through the woods. The decayed forests have already started having some animal life kind of come into it, even though it's been less than a day that y'all have actually took care of the ritual site that had been causing the decay.
That would be a 17 for investigation.
As you're digging through his belongings there, Emerald, you actually find a couple of vials that are broken and busted with a little bit of liquid in them. Apparently, from the fight that Garrick has had recently, some of his belongings actually got damaged.
Speaking of the fight, I would like to look for tracks of where there could have been an approach and then maybe a fleeing tracks of what direction.
Roll perception.
Total.
It does not take you very long. You actually just kind of, as everyone's dealing with Garrick, you actually quickly start looking around on the ground, and you actually quickly find a set of tracks that lead off northwest of where you guys are currently at. That lead off into the actual woods.
Creighton is south, right?
Graydon is south of where y'all are at.
Are these Garrick's tracks or someone else's tracks leading from here away?
Leading further, the tracks are too large to be Garrick's.
Cricket's just gonna start kind of, you'll see her looking around and then pointing direction wise, crouching down to look. And then she's just going to turn towards the others. I've got a scent.
Emerald, will Garrick be okay?
That's a 22 on a medicine check.
You're able to patch his wounds and stop the bleeding, and he, for the most part, does stabilize. But you can tell that he does need more work to be done. He does need actual additional aid than what you've provided. It will be okay. It's just his recovery time will be a lot longer without it.
Well, we kind of need information on what just happened, so... he is going to regain 9 hit points.
I take it you're casting Cure Wounds? Cure Wounds? Like, as like you kind of like put your hand on him and y'all just see an aura light just kind of like shine through his wounds. This color of green just kind of like shines through, and then just you can see the melding of his skin as it rebinds together, and then that aura dissipates. Some wounds are still there, but for the most part they've healed up as if it's been a couple of weeks. As you do this, he takes a deep breath as he just stares at the ground. His eyes are just kind of fixated in one spot before he turns and looks up at you there, Emerald. And he's like, I appreciate that, really do.
What happened to watching somebody? What happened?
I was following. I thought I was doing a good job staying stealthy, out of sight, you know. But after a while, the tracks of the group I was following, which was Kilbeth herself and a couple of guards, just vanished. At least a set of the tracks. And I followed the rest of those tracks here, and they were only here for a matter of seconds before they started going back towards the town. I followed them, those tracks, back. But I couldn't find the third set. And that is when I heard Night Stalker Howard to the north. Silver and we decided to backtrack to here. As I got here, I heard a whimper just farther north out of where this ritual's circle had been created. It's just past here. I started getting there and then got to the edge when Sylphir took a instant arrow to the behind of his left leg. I turned quickly and just pulled it out and essentially used it to notch up my own bow. But it's too late. The person was already on me with an attack of ferocity that I've never seen. Instantly stabbed me in my upper left-hand shoulder. He kind of reaches for the wound. Just stabbing, and as I reach to grab my own short sword, he kind of looks down. You'll see that his sword is gone that he carries. As I reach to grab and pull it out, they sliced up my wrist with incredible precision. I dropped it, and he points off in the direction. He's like, I proceeded to use my bow to he folds up his bow, which is broken in half, to parry off the attack of the next one. It was too late. Before I knew it, 7, 8 cuts all at me. Just simultaneously, just constant. Sylphir jumped the person for a brief moment before being sliced up himself. And then person just ran off shortly after. I don't know why, but it wasn't more than 5 or 10 minutes before y'all showed up. I didn't have the strength to chase. I just couldn't wander over to the center here and sit. I tried to catch my breath. I am sorry. Yeah.
Night Stalker didn't howl very loudly. I never heard it.
It wasn't terribly loud.
Did you find Night Stalker?
I didn't get that close. I tried to head towards his direction. When the person attacked me at the north edge, and he points in the direction of where he was headed, which is north is in the northern direction of the ritual site that y'all had taken care of not even earlier this day.
Same direction as the footprints?
Yep. Which, Cricket, I'm sure that you followed these footprints at least a little bit of distance, correct?
Probably to the edge, maybe a little bit into the forest, but not too far. I'm still
You-
within, like, view shot of everyone that they could still see me.
As you're following these tracks, you actually can kind of corroborate his story. You see his set of tracks
Mm-hmm.
and everything along with it, and then as you go to the northern end of where this ritual site is, you find what appears to be a set of tracks just kind of like intercrossing with one another at the north end, as if a tussle had occurred. You also see a couple of sets of wolf tracks, or at least possible wolf tracks of Sylphir.
Saphira is moving over to Cricket and seeing if she can find Sylphir anywhere. Not Sylphir, Night Stalker.
As kind of like walk to the edge, you don't really see Sylphir in the immediate vicinity.
It's gonna gesture to Saphira and then point to her nose. Stalker.
I want to go find him. Should we... But Garrick needs watching over. Can a few of you stay and watch him, or should we bring him?
I suppose that depends on how mobile he is now. Can you stand, Garrick?
You just see him kind of like lean over and push down on his left knee and just kind of, I can stand.
Did Garrick use a short bow or a long bow?
He used a longbow, which was about his height.
Is her bow...
Her bow's longer
Yeah.
by about an extra like 6 inches.
Garrick, can... This might be too big for you. Can you wield a bow this size?
You just see him kind of grab the bow and like he tries to like pull it, and his arms, like as he kind of like pulls, it only goes to like half its draw before his arms really can't pull any further. And he's like, I'm the master of the swords. I will be fine. And he kind of like wanders over and grabs his short sword that's on the ground.
Cricket's gonna trot over. Garrick.
He's trying to see. He's like, yes, Cricket?
How was the view? Guard etiquette?
He just kind of sits there puzzled. What do you mean by view?
Pats her clothes.
I think she's trying to ask what kind of attire the guard was wearing.
Oh. The two guards that I'm guessing that I was following with Kilvath, they were just wearing regular military garb. Light armor. To a certain
Not
extent. but a
town's
little bit.
colors, then.
No, not the town's guard.
Oh.
Kilvath was more armored than they were. The assailant that attacked me.
What armor does Kilveth wear normally?
She usually wears she still like usually wears military garb, but it's more of a casual base, more medium. But he just goes, she was wearing more heavy plated. With a bit of a scaled layer to it for easier mobility. The assailant that attacked me, I didn't get a direct look in the face, but the armor was similar.
So they came here ready for battle.
It's fine, Night Stalker. She looks visibly upset. And yeah.
You just see Garrick just kind of do a sigh. He's like, I'd prefer if we also did find Night Stalker really quick. I'd rather not to lose my friend.
So you
She's,
you did describe Sophia as a rug.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's gonna bend down and just kind of like lift the head and look in confusion.
Oh, by the way, I'm just saying, Garrick still has a hold of it. So,
Oh.
so you're just kind of like walking up and picking up the head.
Silver's not normal. He reverts to that form.
He'll be fine. Give or take a day. And you just kind of like
He has to be protected in that form.
Very flat.
he's more grounded than the rest. What can I say? Like he just kind of like grabs Sylphir and just like the rug and just kind of like puts it over him and basically wears it to a certain extent. And he's like,
I'll hang
Go
back
ahead.
with Garrick. We should not stay here. But if we're gonna go looking for this wolf, I'll make sure he's okay. But we shouldn't stay here.
We should not forget what we came here for, too, though.
But first things first, Night Stalker needs help.
Agreed.
And secondly, if we're going to observe here, one, they already came and left. I don't know if more are coming. Two, we shouldn't be in the open if we're going to be monitoring the area.
Of course.
Feel
Thought we
that.
were going to see if there were
Okay.
any living things around here for Stalker to try and speak to.
There are some around
I'd like
us
to
that
keep
have
an
seen a
eye out
few
for
already.
anything.
Well, we've got Cricket's footprints. That'll be a good start. Leading toward Night Stalker, hopefully.
Which Sphere is at the edge of the wood line, just waiting to push forward impatiently.
I'll re-up my mage armor and join you.
Eric follows, but he's going to stay at the back of everybody. He's just kind of like trying to catch his breath still, to a certain extent. He's had a rough day.
Mm-hmm. So
Who's,
Sphere is...
Cricket kind of goes
Would
in
you have
front
announced
of,
you were going to re-up your armor, Tanithil?
I mean,
Or would you have just done it?
I just did it. It's just a first level spell.
Cricket's
I was
gonna
just
walk
asking for clarification.
in front of Garrick and kind of get in a position of like crouch down as like piggyback.
I'll be
Tag
fine.
along.
I'll be
Have
fine.
fun. No. You hinder. On.
He just
We
kind of like looks at Sylphir, or not Sylphir, Saphira, and just kind of does one of these.
What?
He just kind of like motions you to come here for a second.
She reluctantly takes a few steps towards him.
Like you just instantly just see him like grab on and climb up and just sit on Saphira's shoulders. Or shoulder. That'd be good.
Be careful up there. I move a
Cricket just
lot in
shrugs.
battle. I'm not liable if you fall off. And watch your head as she ducks a little under a tree limb.
He ducks. I take it Saphira's taking point.
I
Unless
will.
someone else tries to take point instead.
I will be at point with Saphira. Or Stalker,
Is
sorry.
the group going to be stealthy, or is everyone just kind of...
I'm stealthing and keeping watch of the tracks.
Should
Okay.
move quietly, yeah.
Alrighty. So for stealthing, I need stealth checks, and person in point take roll perception as well.
18 for stealth.
18 stealth as well.
9.
And
Trail.
19 perception.
I am sending
Good.
you a message.
Okay.
Egg boy.
I have a 12 stealth. I'd also like to pull out my staff before starting along this, and I'd like to keep an eye out for any living creatures in the area.
Alrighty. What was your perception roll there? Cricket?
19.
19?
Yep.
Alrighty.
This
Alright.
is good.
As you guys kind of traverse, sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties, but we're back.
Technology is
if I'm-
great when it works.
Right? Great when it works. That being said, Cricket, you rolled a 19 for perception.
Mhm.
All right. So, as you guys are kind of like traversing through the woods, a couple of you guys are making a bit of noise. Nothing too bad. But Cricket, you're able to kind of track those tracks for quite a bit of distance. After a while, you actually do see a pair of wolf tracks kind of converge with it, and it leads to a series of bushes in the woods that you've seen have been disturbed quite recently. The bushes are, in certain parts, branches or twig areas are broke. Leaves are at the bottom. You see blood kind of like dripping down slowly, as if something has just recently been attacked here. This is just at the edge of those bushes.
Stalker. Smell. Points at blood.
She's going to kneel down, quietly move the open the visual into the bushes, see if there's anything in there.
As you kind of like open the bushes, Garrett gets down off you and kind of jumps on the ground. He helps you kind of like move the bushes, and as you do, you see the body of Night Stalker just kind of laid at the bottom, not breathing. Tongue is just kind of like barely hanging out. The jaw is actually been kind of like sliced and pulled as if it's been cut.
Garrett,
the
does he have a
legs
pulse?
are no, it's not breathing, no pulse. And as you kind of do this, you see just Garrick just go, "Give me a minute," and you just see him kind of like push the bush part that he's kind of holding up with his left hand up and over his shoulder, so you can like, kind of like reach underneath Night Stalker and pick up Night Stalker and kind of pull him out and carry him out of
just
the bushes.
palms the bush out of the way.
It's a pretty big bush, and it's dug into the ground.
And essentially flatten it down.
As he pulls Night Stalker out and turns around, just kind of lays him on the ground. He just kind of stares at him. "I'm sorry, old friend. I didn't mean to be this quick about it." And you just see him kind of like put his hand on Night Stalker's chest area. And you just see him close his eyes. And you just kind of see his head tilt back and forth. As he does, light just kind of coming from Night Stalker's body begins to slightly kind of glow luminescent and just comes into a ball and just right up into Garrick's arm, and it just kind of dissipates as the body just lays there.
Is Night Stalker unusual like Sylphir?
Yes, but the pain of him dying doesn't change because he'll remember it when I bring him back.
How
That I
long
wasn't
does it
there.
take you to bring him back?
Rebirth.
Well, takes about a day for it to be able to be done, and then process is about 8 hours.
Well, let's
So-
see if we can go find the culprit and either get some vengeance for him or have it
You
waiting for him.
You just see his eyes are just icy, and he's like, "I wouldn't mind that." As he just kind of like puts his hand on Night Stalker, he's like, "I'll be back to in a minute." And he just kind of stands up. And he kind of like looks over his shoulder and he just kind of goes, "Cricket, you can still track those tracks, right?"
Affirmative.
"Please do."
She's gonna look around. See if she can find a continuation of those tracks.
Sylphir doesn't help with that.
I'm going to have you roll with advantage there, Cricket, since Saphira's helping.
Better. 17.
You're quickly able to find these tracks of the person, and you're able to kind of like lead the group away from the bushes and kind of back towards where you guys came from, and then find the set that actually leads away back up northwest of the direction that the person left. And I would say that you guys are y'all stealthing, or y'all actually being
I'm going to continue to stealth.
Same.
okay? I'm going to need stealth checks again.
Natural 20. 27.
Oh, mine's much worse this time. 15.
22.
No, that's only 3 worse.
Okay.
7.
Y'all are
With a
Y'all-
+1, I rolled a 2.
Oh. Oh, man.
Alright.
Clink, clink, clink.
Cricket
clink, clink,
is
clink.
moving at a relatively quick pace.
I'm just jumping branch to branch.
Just branch
Ninja mode.
quietly. Saphir is staying off of the ground with a bunch of leaves and broken twigs to kind of keep her steps quiet. Tanithil, you're following, I take it, right behind Saphira, just keeping up with those. Emerald and Fida, on the other hand, are just kind of like, I wouldn't say barreling down the trail or following behind you guys, but they're not following in the same steps.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Clink, 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 clink.
Garrick is following you guys, but off at a distance. He's not running entirely with you guys. He's on his own. As you are following these tracks there, Cricket, as you kind of like jump to the ground, look for a minute, then back up and follow, and jump back down, like you just kind of back and forth. You notice that the tracks all of a sudden change from being a straight path and going in a specific direction to darting to the left and then back again to the right. Like it just kind of zigzagging pattern. Roll perception.
Okay, pattern. Nope, I left. Natural 20. Oh, 24.
24.
Yeah.
So like as like you're kind of like following these tracks, you hear in the distance a twig snap. About
I go to
50
kick.
yards from you.
Oh.
Just flies across this area, just like a leg out, just like flying across. It's like
Old kung fu movie where it's just like
right.
Falcon kick. Falcon punch.
Oh my god. So like you just hear a twig snap off in the distance. Those tracks that you were following actually kind of like come to a stop, and you see that the pace of those tracks have narrowed to more of someone that's actually trying to be stealthy, not to be seen. It seems.
He's going to jump down in a crouch and put her hand up. Quiet. Someone's hiding. Get ready. She goes, points in the direction. She's going to stealth forward with her hand still up.
I need to know what everybody else is doing.
Close am I to Cricket?
I would say you're about 30 feet.
Stalker's slowly creeping along behind her. Probably maul out.
Okay. Tanithil?
Well, I got super lucky with actually being stealthy this time around, so I'm just gonna hold still and wait for something to happen. Not try my luck.
Fida? Emerald?
seeing as I've been clanking through the woods for a bit.
I'm
just
sorry.
Gonna, like,
Just freeze.
Simon says stop.
Simon says stop.
Before she
I am
gets-
going to stop. I still have my staff out and just continue looking around to see if I see like any other living creatures around in the area that for. But also see what it is we're trying to like see if there's anything out in the ordinary.
Okay.
She's going to, before she gets too far, still in earshot, she's gonna look at the group and be like, "I'm aware of you." Points out there and then to us.
Okay.
Quiet.
How far are you going to go away from the group? I am curious.
Maybe, probably 30 feet.
30 feet?
Mm-hmm.
As
Low to the
you kind
ground.
of... Okay. I need another perception roll from you.
Okay.
And Saphira. And Fida, you said you were looking around as well.
And I'm listening.
Is that sight and sound or just sight?
18 total.
You're hearing, I'm pretty sure, so give yourself advantage there.
Okay.
Saphira. What'd you say there, Gibbon?
18 total.
Okay.
20 total.
That was 12 total.
12 total. As y'all are kind of like listening, Crickets, you and Saphira are kind of like about 30 feet further than where the group was originally, which means, if I'm not mistaken with y'all spacing, how far back would you have been there, Tanithil? I need to know this.
I mean, like 10, 20 feet behind Saphira.
All right, and you stopped, correct?
Yeah.
Sorry, so you're about 50 feet at this point away, because I'm pretty sure Saphira followed behind Cricket, you said? All right, Emerald, Fida, how far back were you from Tanithil and the rest of the group, or were you kind of up with Tanithil?
I would have been up towards Tanithil.
Yeah,
Okay,
I would have been
so-
at most 10 feet back.
Okay. Alrighty. As Cricket and Saphira are kind of off into the woods, they kind of follow the sound of where those branches snapped just a moment ago. You guys are kind of like looking around, but y'all haven't heard anything for, I'd say, a couple of minutes. You gonna keep pushing forward there, Cricket?
He's going to actually mimic the sound of us walking away. And like
I
a
need
fade
a-
sound.
I need a, if I'm not mistaken, there's a performance
Perception.
skill. I need a performance.
For mimicry, it's imitations with an insight check for the person that I'm trying to trick,
Oh.
and then by my deception check.
Okay. That works.
17?
All right. As you kind of make those noises, who's the one that's furthest back behind Tanithil?
I think that'd be Fida.
Yeah, I think I'm just slightly behind Emerald.
Mm.
As Saphira and Crickets, the noises of what she's mimicking as if they are leaving. Fida, you instantly feel the cold blade of someone's sword just kind of come right down on your right hand shoulder, where the woman's voice just kind of echoes out very softly. Do not move. Do not say a word. Just take a step back with me. And you just feel the blade just kind of like, you can feel the person's angling the blade to kind of like come across your neck right here and slightly begin to pull back. They're not trying to hurt you in any way. I need a Tanithil, Emerald. I want perception checks from you guys with advantage.
22.
Perception's a 6. Also a 22.
I was like, whoa, 6 with advantage? Whoa.
No, it's a plus. There is an added 6 from proficiency.
It was like, as the blade just kind of like angles up, the moonlight that is shining down just kind of casts across both of y'all's eyes in a awkward angle. Y'all instantly just kind of like turn y'all's head, and as y'all do, y'all see the blade that's like kind of across Fida's throat. As like y'all turn, you can see the outline of an individual. Can't get a direct good look, but you can tell that the person is wearing some rather heavy armor. That's not cheap. The blade is rather thin, but it's still can give off that shine that I was just referring to. The handle itself is silver with red emeralds kind of etched into it. The person just kind of like, y'all can see the head just like instantly look at y'all as like the person instantly notices y'all have caught their attention, and she just kind of pulls back more on Fida as y'all hear the voice say, "Y'all move, y'all say a word. I will slit her throat."
That one's caused us a lot of trouble lately. I mean, wouldn't be an awful loss.
I'm fine. And she just begins kind of like pulling her back. You following there, Fida?
I am not going to be following. I'm not resisting, but I'm not going with.
Person's like, as like she kind of like begins kind of like pulling on the blade, and you just kind of not back up with her. The blade just kind of like begins pushing further and further into the right side of your throat. She just goes, "Your friends aren't going to help you. You might as well come with me."
I am going to need a wisdom saving throw from this person.
$15?
Never mind.
Beat
it by 1.
Are you coming there, Fida, or no?
No, I'm still not going to.
As she says this, strength check there, Fida. Or just a, oh, well, that's not going to go well. Just roll a strength. Strength versus strength.
It's a 15.
As like you just see her just kind of like shove, like pull the blade back and just instantly shove Fida in y'all's direction. You see like Fida like kind of like automatically kind of like expected this a little bit, I would say. And like as she goes, you just kind of like dig your left foot in as she goes to push. You just barely budge, not even an inch forward. As all of a sudden, she kind of like leans back and instantly comes with an attack. Roll initiative, the three of you.
All right.
That is an 8.
17.
22.
That's a lot of 22s.
Yeah.
Hola, momento, por favor.
Wow.
Alrighty.
Do we need a different map for this?
Nah, it would be fine.
Theater of the mind.
There's a lot of evil summoning circles out in the forest.
Yeah.
Right?
They're all over the place. It's known for it at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah. You got crop circles, you got forest circles. The aliens are at it again.
Right. What'd you get there? Tanthil? 22?
22.
Fida, what'd you roll?
No space.
I rolled a 6 + 2 for 8 total.
8 total?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Emerald, what'd you roll?
17.
Cricket and Stalker in the background doing rock, paper, scissors. Who's gonna go
I would say
further?
I would say that you guys will probably hear what's going on here in just a moment.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
After an attack or two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so Tanthil, like you see just the blade just instantly get raised to swing at Fida. What are you doing?
So Fida just got, or I guess the attacker attempted to shove Fida away. So
Yeah, it just
she's
didn't
not
go
being
anywhere.
held hostage anymore.
Correct.
Okay, I'll just jump out like 10 feet and shoot a firebolt then.
All right.
At the attacker, not at Fida, just to clarify. 18 to hit.
All right. Roll damage. As like you
4
kind of like
fire
jump,
damage.
like as you kind of like jump forward, you just firebolt just whizzes through the air, and just crashes right into the person's like left hand shoulder. It just hits and just kind of like keeps going off the armor. All right. Emerald, you're up. You see that Tanthil just like kind of like jumped out and fired a firebolt. What are you doing?
I'm going to use the first part of my turn to unleash the loudest whistle I can muster.
Okay.
Do you want like a performance on that, or?
Yeah, I want a performance on that one actually.
Sure.
Got the
Gonna be a really
thaumaturgy
low
cantrip.
check.
I do not have that one. But that's okay. That's a lot.
Yeah, I just need like 5.
That was
The
a
lowest.
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. That's perfectly fine. Just echoes through the woods. Saphira, Cricket, you actually instantly hear this behind you, which is about this point. Yeah, about 50, 60 feet behind you guys.
And her ears immediately twitch in that direction.
Emerald, what else are you doing?
How far am I from this person?
I'd say you're 15 feet.
Okay. I'm going to need another wisdom save. We're going to Toll of the Dead.
Nat 20.
Well,
That's okay. That one does not do half damage, so that'll do it.
Is that it for your turn?
Yep.
Alright. As that like hit kind of like hits directly into her left hand shoulder, it kind of like uses the momentum like to continue down the strike that she has with her sword. What is your AC there, Fida?
13.
13. Okay. Y'all just see it like the first strike just kind of like miss. Like I said, like the person like kind of like comes down with it and then just instantly just like with intense speed just like cut directly on her back, dealing 18 slashing. Ouch.
In reaction, I am going to Hellish Rebuker.
If I'm not mistaken, that's a warlock ability, correct?
No,
Oh,
that's
that's a
racial.
tiefling.
That's
Mhm.
nice. Just want to make sure of that. All right, what does that do exactly, though?
And that one is... point your finger at the creature that damaged you. It's momentarily surrounded by hellish flames. The creature must make a dex saving throw. It takes 2d10 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. At higher levels, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of second level or higher, damage is increased by 1d10 for each spell slot. But first, with it being racial, I'm not actually sure what level that is.
racial ones
Base
are always
level.
minimum level.
Yep,
Yeah, so
one.
first,
Some racial
14.
ones.
On the save.
okay, the DC check on that one was, I just clicked the wrong thing, was a dex 15.
All right, so if I'm not mistaken, you said it'd be 2d10?
Yep.
All right, roll damage. Like,
10
as y'all just
damage.
be like 10 damage, you said?
Yep.
as like y'all just see the right on the back, you just see like blood just like shoot out from behind Fida as like her back arches. She just instantly turns, just like lets off like this just hellish flame just right from her fingertips as it just surrounds the person. And you see the person just kind of like shriek out. And if I'm not mistaken, she is not used her movement. So like as soon as like you just kind of like do the Hellish Rebuke, she instantly takes steps back away from the area. If I'm not mistaken, she was right up on you. So roll. Oh, actually, use your reaction for
Yeah, that's the
Hellish
Hellish
Rebuke, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So she just instantly. Oh wait, no, actually, Tanithil, you're right up on her, aren't you?
No, like
No. Oh yeah,
10 feet back.
you're 10 feet back as you use Fireball. So it's like she just instantly just backs up away from you about 30 feet. And it's your turn, Fida.
I am in my rather wounded state going to get myself back about 40 feet.
Okay.
So I'm moving back towards the rest of the party.
All right.
And I'm moving 40 feet away so that I'm a lot closer. Or, yeah, 40 feet, and that's going to end my turn. I moved 6:30.
I need Saphira and Cricket to both roll initiatives.
18. Wait. No, 19.
21.
Haha.
What does that do?
Ornamental, por favor. Yep, we are just going to use random token today.
FYI.
I'm coming for that booty.
That's a
Fida,
big
I
lady.
would
I know,
check
right?
some abilities that give you a spell you don't normally have, like racial abilities, you can also use with spell slots. I don't think all of them can, so you'll want to look at it, see if it says anything about it.
You're right. All right, so that's going to put him at
It's got nice
There.
cheekbones.
some reason given as like that person's adorable. All right, so
No, she's not adorable. She's hot.
it's hot.
Yeah. It's a cougar.
Because she's on fire.
All right, so with that being said, yeah, turn orders are incorrect. Or turn order is correct. Tanithil,
Alright.
you're up.
I am going to reveal that I, in fact, have a subclass. I'm going to start my Blade Song as a bonus action. I'm going to keep pace with her. This will increase my speed by 10 feet, so I will move up 40 feet. I'm going to stay about 10 feet on the right of her, so not be right beside her, and then shoot her with another firebolt.
I have to
That
ask,
fancy lad's got moves.
fancy lad's got moves. I have to ask, what does your blade song sound like?
You know the Queen song, Having a Good Time?
Yes!
Yes! Yes! That's so beautiful for Tanithil.
Don't stop me now.
All right, firebolt.
And don't stop me indeed, because that sure better hit with a 23 and 8 more
That-
fire damage.
That does. You just like, yep, like as like he kind of like pulls out a rapier, just instantly kind of like right next to him, like this light just like kind of like instantly glows. You know, just start hearing like this tune being played as like you just swiftly like move to her right, and as you do, you just kind of like use your rapier to like kind of like cast out the firebolt.
I have no rapier right now.
I thought you did.
It's
thought
in
you
the,
said-
it's in the hotel room.
We did not get
Oh, you left
all
it.
of the things. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm singing and running.
Tanithil, you know what? That was a really cool idea. I was trying to give a really cool description.
I'm sorry.
You ruined it. You ruined it.
My brain just immediately heard like the Six Flags song.
So I know, right? So instead, retconning it. That was like 2 weeks ago that we discussed that. Anyway,
Yeah.
music is played, and he just kind of like walks over and then just points in a direction. And fireball in her direction. He just tags her right in the right hand shoulder as just moves.
I am singing.
You're-
I'm fast.
All right, Cricket, you're up. You
Hi.
heard this commotion going on behind you guys. At this point, y'all heard the couple of mini explosions of the firebolts being going off. You heard Emerald whistle.
Oh yes.
What do you do?
Oh yes. And I whistle back. I whistle back and let's see. Dun 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 dun. I don't know why that popped in my head. Okay. I'm going to make. So how far? I am like 50 feet.
You're roughly 60 from where
Roughly
she is
60.
entirely. Yeah. You're 50 from them, 60 from her.
And I'll have to like attack someone first to be able to spend my key. Is that correct?
For what?
If you're spending the key towards attacks, towards like flurry of blows, yes. But if you were like
Step of the
step of the
wind.
wind, you can just
No,
go.
you just-
Okay, well then I will
You
like
just do
step
that.
use a key
Step of
point
the
to
wind.
step of the wind. So there's a dash action. So that's 80 feet. So I'm going to get right up, and I'm going to make. Go ahead. What?
I was gonna say step of the wind to use as a key point, correct?
Yes, I use my key point.
Okay, just one. And
And I'm going to take my quarterstaff. I wish I could take it. I should take off it there. And I'm going to have the short end here and have it longer there, and I'm going to spin, and so the long part cracks her in the head. So make that attack. Also, I don't know what my attack modifiers. What's that? No, 13 plus 7. 20. Does 20 hit?
that hits.
Okay,
Roll
and
damage.
that's technically not versatile. That's a one hand. So 10 damage, and then I'm going to take the unarmed strike. I think I could do that, right?
Now you did the bonus action dash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're right. Okay.
But
Yeah. I'm
y'all
crack
like
her
just
crack
this
her in the side of the head.
burst of wind just right through you guys as Cricket just right
whistling.
across
Real loud.
while whistling
just
just
like
really
Emerald.
loud right across her head. Just
Sounds like a missile.
All
like-
I'm picturing is just wow.
I know.
Barry, you're up.
Pretty much.
But whistling
So-
the whole way.
60 feet away, roughly.
Yep.
She's gonna run forward 30 feet and draw back an arrow real far and let it loose.
It is night out.
Huh?
It is night out.
Okay. Disadvantage
not
for the
mis-
light?
Yep.
Okay.
I was gonna say I don't think you have night
Ooh.
vision.
No, I don't. No, that's purple. That is probably not gonna hit because that first one is a 2.
No, that's not. It's just like this arrow's right between all of y'all. As Saphira is just like off in the distance, just shooting. Technically,
mind?
if I'm not mistaken, there, Tanathil, do you have dark vision?
Oh yes,
Elves all
Okay.
have dark
I
vision.
am an elf.
I just want to make sure. I thought they did. I just wanted to make sure. All right, Garrick is booking it towards you guys as well. Emerald, you're up.
Well. I'm going to kind of... Tanithil's moved up on the target.
Yeah, I'm like 10 feet to the right. I'm keeping pace with her
Yeah.
now.
You said she's about 30 away from where we were.
Yeah.
I'll move up 25 and Toll the Dead again. Another wisdom save.
Eight,
What was that?
14,
Meets it,
1,
meets it.
4. She's getting lucky on the wisdom throws.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of walking towards her, like holding something under the beard, and that's really about it. That'll be
Gotcha.
my turn.
Alrighty. So, Cricket, are you on the left or the front of her?
Well, if Vita's
Vita's
I moved
behind.
back.
okay,
I moved
Yeah.
back
Oh,
behind everyone.
Vita's back away.
I'm in
Or
front.
You're in front. So,
Mhm,
like,
and I am
she
pooped
instantly,
up.
like, instantly just, like, kind of, like, turns and just looks at you and just Tanithil, the speed and the veracity of, like, these strikes are just back to back, just. And as you do, you actually see this blade just glow like luminescent on the first strike, and then followed by 2 regular with that glow instantly dissipating.
Magic sword.
What's your AC there, Given?
I am 19.
19?
Mhm.
Okay. Just instantly just like back to back to back on Cricket. The first hit just right across your chest. Second one just instantly tries like following. You're able to like kind of like move out of the way, but like as like you kind of like step off to the right, she just backtracks and just uppercuts like right back across. Just an X just forms. You know. 17 slashing damage.
Dang.
If I'm not mistaken, Vita, you are up.
I am going to pull out one of my darts and I'm within 60 feet of her, so I am going to throw it at her.
Okay. You do have dark vision, correct?
I do.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure.
That's an 11.
That's
They
an
don't
11.
like me today. They absolutely
Like-
do not like me today.
As like you just kind of like let a dart out towards her direction, like Cricket, like you just instantly see the person begin to like move to the left, which kind of like forces you to instantly like move right as a dart just flies right between you guys. Is that it for your turn there, Fida?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Tanithil, you're up.
Well, here's the thing. We're not having actual sword fights because only one person here has a sword, so I'm going to even that out. I will step toward her and conjure a shadow blade in my hand, and I'm going to stab the shit out of her with advantage
Yes!
because it's dark out.
I love the precious boy. I love
That
it
was a
so
17.
much.
As, like you just
He's
and go to
emo.
like strike, you just see her just like kind of like her head just instantly turns, just, like with a reaction, and just blocks
Ooh.
with a rapier.
All right.
Is that it for your turn?
That is my turn.
Cricket, your go.
Okay. Is this something I could do? I want to attempt to disarm her.
That is an action.
That is an action.
Pretty sure.
If I'm not
Okay.
mistaken, that's a strength versus strength, correct?
It can be strength or dex. The attacker makes an attack roll contested by the target's strength or dexterity check. If the attacker wins the contest, the attack causes no damage or other ill effect, but the defender drops the item.
Okay.
So, make an attack roll, which I still don't remember my numbers. Okay. Oh, come on. Math. 15 plus 7. 22?
That's fine. Like, you just kind of like, as she kind of like blocks Tanithil's shadow blade, you just
I'm gonna do a split kick, like
And just-
pow out on her wrist.
oh, okay, just instantly just kicked it, and you just see the blade just tumble right off onto the ground.
If that counts as an attack, does that count as an attack?
I would say it does.
All right, then I would like to do my bonus action to sweep kick that blade into wherever.
I'll take it.
Tanithil's like, I'll take it.
Kicks it over to the oddly dancing elf.
Right. So you just go kick the blade away?
I'm gonna sweep kick, like.
I want a dex. Just roll dex.
Straight dex.
Not for kicking it, just how far away you get it.
Okay. Still really good. Wait. Another 22. What is with 22s today?
Like, you just instantly kick it and you move it 30 feet away. Just right, like, just kick it.
Somewhere in the
instantly.
bushes.
Yep. Saphira, your go.
Saphira is going to vanish. And I'm going to send you a message.
Roll stealth.
That's okay. It's a 1, which puts it at 4. But
Like, as
that's
you try to, like-
very fitting because she is just booking it straight for this person.
As you, if I'm not mistaken, you were trying to stealth there, kind of like disappear away.
No, she just turns invisible.
Oh, okay. Like, as like you're just kind of like keeping an eye on this person, and you like kind of like go invisible. You just right through some like tree branches and everything that were like kind of like on the ground. You just, like off in the distance.
Yeah, and I'm going to send you a message with what is happening while she's invisible.
Garrick is just trying to catch up to you guys. Emerald, your go.
Keep slowly approaching. Another Toll the Dead.
You're already only like 5 or 10 feet away from her because she didn't move last turn.
Yeah.
I'll stop just outside of melee, so about 10 foot. So
Alright.
I'd move up another 5.
Hold
Alright.
it as a ringtone.
I wish that roll was earlier. 19. Plus.
You don't get to do anything.
That's fine.
It hurt me so bad. I'm getting that thing away.
Oh. Anyway, is that all you're doing there, Emerald?
Which direction did that blade go?
Oh, yeah.
To your right, her left.
How far?
For you, it's about 40 feet.
I will circle around to kind of put myself between them and the blade.
Okay.
And that's where I'll end my turn.
On her turn, like, as like the blade just kind of like kicks away, she like instantly like looks at you and it pulls out this dagger just with her bonus action and just unleashes just a fury flurry can't speak today. Flurry of attacks on Cricket. So long, farewell.
In the arms.
You gotta get out of here, Cricket.
Like the first like attack, just like Cricket just kind of like dances back, and you just like instantly back one like right across the shoulder, the right shoulder, as like you kind of like lurch back. The left shoulder catches that second. $14
Is this a dagger or a greatsword?
dagger. I rolled 2 6s.
So that's for both of the attacks?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cricket's not looking so great.
Okay then. So like you just those attacks just back and Fida, your go.
How far away am I from her?
You, if I'm not mistaken, you backed a full movement distance from her, correct? Earlier.
Yes, I just need to know the exact distance I am from her.
So she moved 30 feet away from that previously, and you moved 30 feet away from her earlier, correct? So that would put you at 60. Because she moved 30 and you moved 30.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to move up 30 feet.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy and just have it right on her head, the sound of whispers, like right in her ears.
Is that from your...
Rachel.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure.
Yep. 1 minute duration.
All right. So, what'd you say you were doing with the thaumaturgy? Just want to be sure.
I am casting it right on her head to have whispers just going in her ears.
Okay. All right. What are they whispering? What are they saying?
I know what you did last summer.
Everything she was
Lock the
whispering at
door.
me, everything that she was talking to Mudrik about. Anything else that just seems to be annoying and be inane gibberish at some points. Just nonstop whispering in her ears for a full minute.
Gotcha.
Save 15% on car insurance.
Exactly.
877 cash now. Hell, your go.
Call 1-800-STANLEY-STEAM.
Alright,
What's
well.
a car?
I'll dance around her a little bit and swing again. How about a 24? Can you block that?
She cannot. Like, you're going to see her
That's what I
actually.
thought.
She's going to actually try, though. She actually is going to, like, move up her, like, dagger to just kind of block it.
Well, there is
12.
12 psychic damage for you.
Dang. Like, as you just. I take it this Shadow Blade is just kind of like pierces through and it just deals psychic, correct?
Yeah, I mean, here's the spell description for you. It just is threads of shadow. It does psychic damage because it's mean and it gives you a headache. I don't know.
I would say that, like, I guess it just, like, kind of, like, cast through the person and it just, like, the thought of it just kind of, like, just rips through, like, psychically and it just, like, against your head.
Because it's
Dagger of
actually an
hangovers.
illusion.
Right?
That's why it does psychic.
it's just like, it
it's
just
actually an
passes-
illusion.
Yep.
Oh,
as
yeah,
it
so it's
passes-
illusion type.
Yeah. So as it, like, passes through her, like, you just see her just dealing that 12 psychic damage. Doing anything else there, Tanithil?
Who's Garrick?
Nope, that's my turn.
Hobbling his way back to wherever we are. He wasn't in very good shape when y'all sprinted off.
Cricket, here go.
Okay. Ow. Cricket's kind of gonna try to still puff up to be try to seem intimidating, but she's holding chest wounds and her shoulders is bleeding. She's making little sad whimper noises, but still trying to look intimidating. she's gonna spend a key to disengage back towards probably where Fida is. Just away.
You want to just do a normal disengage then? So that's only 30 feet.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Save them points.
I know.
Yep.
I was thinking of attacking. Well,
You could attack still.
I'm going to
if you wanted to.
attack.
Yes.
I'm going to attack. I'm going to like a desperate like corner animal slash. Instead of really using quarterstaff, I'm going to slash. Unarmed strike, I guess.
Okay.
Towards her face, her eyes, to attempt to cut her eyes.
All right. Roll an attack roll.
Unarmed. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, wait, the D20. Yes, it is. 16?
Like, I had to actually think there for a second to whether or not she actually used. Yeah, because she just tried to use on Tanithel.
She tried to block mine.
Yeah. As you're using just regular claws, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like as like you kind of like go to step back, you just like instantly like try and like cut across her eyes. She moves just enough for it just to go right across her face. Deal damage.
Does getting clawed in the face by a giant bird deal psychic damage?
Yeah. 4 plus 5. 9 damage.
Yes. Roll for trauma.
Roll for trauma.
Yep. Roll for squawk.
Like you just blood just starts like pouring down her face. Her breathing is trying to catch it. You can see she's beginning to tire.
And then she's going to like freaking cockatiel hiss like, and then disengage using a key.
All right. Saphira?
So
You're
40
all
feet.
going to hear a deep growling before you see a 9-foot tall werewolf appear where Cricket was in front of this person. Eyes glowing about like that.
I'm just here for a sword fight, man.
And she's going to palm this person's face and try to shove them to the ground.
Strength?
Watch out, watch out, watch out!
I'm really glad that it's raging. 23.
Like you just just
Shove
grab
attack
her
to
and just
slam her
shove
down.
her, push her instantly to the ground as like you just see this beastly form guys just appear out of nowhere with a roar following behind. He's just instantly on the ground. Is that
You
it for
like
your
to
turn?
pick on wolves, do you?
Trying to scare her there.
Nope.
Saphira?
She's just saying that as she shoves her to the ground. That's it, though.
Garrick is trying to catch up. And Emerald, your go.
Dare you try it?
She's on the ground now. How far am I from her then? Like 15, 20?
Yeah. You're like, if I'm not mistaken, you said you were like 10 feet away. I said 10.
I was 10 feet away and then I circled around, so I used some of my movement. So probably about 15 then.
Okay.
Emerald's just going to kind of heavily sigh and reach down and pull a mace off of his belt. And walk on up and try and ring somebody's bell. Because are they prone now?
Yeah.
Roll
they're
with
shoving her to the
advantage.
ground.
Lovely.
That ring my bell over my head now.
Everybody's surrounding her, kicking her in the sides.
It's just
you.
a straight up.
For
Game.
advantage. That would be a natural 20.
Alright.
I was actually going to say, if you hit, just count as a crit.
I mean, yes.
Just crit.
I mean, if
And
it
it's
hits,
a
it's a crit.
6! So it's 12, 14 damage.
As Saphira just
Non-lethal.
Ooh.
had you not
Non-lethal damage.
had you
I
not
figured I'd
specified that.
I didn't know how rough she was looking. All I know is she's on the ground and we have questions. I'm trying to ring her bell to the point where she is unconscious.
As like Saphira just like directly onto the ground. Saphira, you just kind of like at the top just see a hammer like coming directly down in front of you.
I am golf swinging.
Oh, okay.
This is golf height for me right now.
I was gonna say like
Boom.
you just like tag her in the chest, so she just like loses her breath and just like gone, but
Nope.
not dead.
Right
All
to the
so
noggin.
like you just see out of your peripheral then. All right, like as like you like directly down, like you just see out of peripheral this hammer clock as like you let go, her head just like instantly just snap, and you just her head just kind of like leans off to the side, her eyes closed, her chest still moving just barely as she's breathing. It's not dead, but it is Kilbeth.
Is she unconscious?
Yes.
Saphira is going to start ripping the armor off of her, piece by piece.
Yeah.
Not clothing, just armor.
Oh,
I figured from the faces I should specify that.
all right.
Also, kind of staring at this large creature that's now in front of us, just kind of.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just like, werewolf, no, not okay. Stop, please.
As y'all are like kind of like Garrick is walking up and he's like, Saphira, calm down. Just like kind of like calls out to you.
Stalker.
Stalker.
Oh yeah? No, I thought you told him Saphira.
Nope, nobody knows her name yet.
Oh, I thought you
Which
did.
It's
is-
even been updated on the overlay.
Yep.
Okay. I thought y'all like during y'all's travels you had mentioned it.
I don't think so. I'll double check later.
I'm
Okay.
sure.
I thought you did. That's why I said it. He just goes, Stalker. Calm down or you're going to cause more damage. And like as he's like kind of like walking up you guys, he's just like kind of like grabbing on to Stalker.
In the meantime, when I'm near Fida, Cricket's leaning on her quarters to turn to Fida with a bloody hand and just pat her on the cheek. And then she's just going to slide down the quarterstaff and just sit and lean her temple
Hearing
against
that
it.
Garrick calling this creature Stalker, I'm gonna look up. Don't kill her. We have questions.
She
Good
lifts
job.
the last piece of armor off and looks over. Who's killing her? Chucks it. She's all yours. For now.
I'm going to
I'm
kneel
gonna go
down
check on
beside
them.
Cricket.
So I take it
Find her fancy
Fida.
sword.
I'm
take
gonna
it
be
Fida.
pulling out like any type of like scrap rags or like stuff or anything that I can to
Um,
try and like stop a little bit of the bleeding on Cricket.
I take
I'm
it you
bleeding a lot.
Emerald is
I
on
take-
his way over there to see and dress wounds.
I take it you guys, so Fida, Cricket, Emerald, y'all are gonna patch up wounds and everything. Tanithil, you're gonna go look for that sword real quick.
Sword cricket kicked off into the forest.
Right,
Saphira's
then
going to
Saphira.
bind her legs with some rope.
All right. But while they're doing that, we're gonna take a break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. See y'all then. And we're back. Hello. All right. That being said, Cricket, Fida, Emerald, y'all are banding each other up, if I'm not mistaken, when we went on break.
And I gave Fida a really bloody pat on the cheek, just as a little bit of a support thing. And she's just spaced out on the ground. Just little whimper noises. She's not feeling so great.
I feel it's
Emerald's going to walk up and sit down, please. Sit. Sit. And start pulling like rags out of their bag and work on bandaging.
I had started doing that. I was already kneeling down beside Cricket and had already started putting like some sort of like rag bandages to try and stop some of the bleeding on her.
You
Preemptively,
okay?
I rolled a medicine check for trying to help out here.
All safe?
Unconscious.
Well done.
18 on the medicine check.
like you're actually like quickly just bandaging up their wounds and kind of like stopping the bleeding that was coming from Cricket and getting those wounds on Fida nice and cleaned up.
Yeah, help her first. She's much worse than me.
Kenneth, if I'm not mistaken, you go and find the blade.
Yep.
She's spacing out, but kind of blurry vision looking at Fida, and she's just gonna start saying a word but stops, but she says, That... It just kind of looks down and it's just breathing as letting Emerald just maneuver wherever.
Saphira, I take it you're just kind of like hovering over the body that is Kilveth.
After tying the legs up, she's probably placed the hands together and is just plopped down on them.
As you kind of like wander over there and pick up the sword there, Tanithil, you see that the handle is silver with 3 red emerald notches on it. It's actually really nicely balanced and rather lightweight, but yet the metal of it is high quality and sturdy, but yet just a slight bend to it to kind of give that extra speed and strikes.
All right.
Are you casting Identify or anything on it?
I'll go back to the party. I
Okay.
don't want to sit here for 10 minutes unless everybody wants to. Well, how is everybody doing? You took a few hits there. Not a very
Cricket's
sporting sword fight.
Cricket's in rough shape.
Emerald, can you heal her?
I've done what I can for them this evening. The bleeding has stopped. They need some rest.
Well, I think we could manage to wait for a bit here. Saphira, how's the prisoner? Stalker?
Still unconscious.
Well, as long as you want to sit on her, we could take a rest.
She's kind of big, so she's not sitting directly on Kilbeth.
Yeah, that might.
She has
take
Kilbeth's
damage.
arms above her head like this, and
Okay.
is sitting on the hands
Derek
because
is
the
sitting
feet
on
are
her legs.
bound.
Yeah, he's sitting on the bound legs. And he's just like, don't mind waiting just a little while.
She would
Okay.
absolutely sit on the torso if she wasn't worried she'd crush her.
Then let us find out what her things do. What kind of armor was she wearing?
She was wearing scale mail.
And her dagger.
Her dagger is just a plain dagger. It's just the metal of it
Just normal dagger.
is not just regular steel. It's not regular steel. It's more of a high quality metal that you've not seen. It's not magical by
Okay.
any means.
Well, then I'll plop down and start identifying the rapier, and
Okay.
daggers up for anybody that wants it.
After about 10 minutes on the rapier, you identify that it has 3 charges on it, where 1 refills daily. So each day 1 refills. You can burn a charge to get advantage on your next attack roll for free. Doesn't require a bonus action or anything. You just burn the charge.
All right.
And
Solid.
it deals 1d8.
Standard rapier damage. Okay.
Okay.
I have her rapier then.
All right. So after about 10 minutes, y'all kind of begin hearing the groans coming from Kilbeth as like she just kind of like turns her head and like looks up and sees Saphira.
Just golden eyes, werewolf face, just a few inches away.
You all see her just breathing, just staring at her in fear.
Would I see this happening?
I mean, yeah. I mean, y'all be waiting around about 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure you'd see it unless you wandered off.
If we're taking a short rest and Emerald sees her stir, he's going to walk over, lean in and pat her on the cheek. We'll talk to you soon. And knock her the fuck back out.
Yes.
Saphira does not
Yes.
break gaze that whole time.
He's knocked back out.
We'll be with you shortly.
It's been 20 minutes since we first knocked her out.
That's about a little over 10, so
Okay.
about 15
Concussions
total.
don't get bad unless you hit them more than a few times. She'll be fine.
Garrick's just like, how long are we gonna sit here before we either question her and
They need to
Take her
catch their breath for a minute before we do anything.
just
As
shakes
do
his
you-
head?
As
I'm
do
gonna
you
spend
still
2
by
hit.
the look of it.
I'm going to spend 2 hit dice if we're doing a full short rest here. And
Okay.
I rolled an 8 and a 4, plus 3 on each for 18 health back.
Cricket, you doing that as well?
I'm gonna do 1 hit dice because of just like roleplay reasons, like just because they're wraps.
Okay.
Which I don't know how much I roll.
It
If I'm
is
not-
the same as your hit die for determining your hit points.
And then
Yeah.
Magic Con.
Which is
Which, if I'm
something.
not
I
if I'm not
think
mistaken,
you,
monks are a
it's
D8.
I think so.
Think
Monk
so?
is a D8 plus con.
But yeah,
So
you add
is
your
it the same?
constitution modifier too.
Okay. Okay. I'll use 1 of them.
And you can use them one at a time. You don't have to be like, this is the number I'm using.
Okay.
Also, given on D&D Beyond, if you click short rest, it'll actually tell you what your hit die are.
Reminds me.
Yep.
That's the quickest way to find it on D&D Beyond.
Okay, I'll take a short rest confirm. And then I just heal whatever I just rolled.
Yep, you just add that to your health. I'm gonna click. Actually, hold on. As we are taking this rest, after knocking her out the second time, Emerald is going to pull out his lyre and sit and start playing a jovial tune for the party. Not really singing along, just playing in the background.
Okay, like that. You see her from slumping. She just like kind of comes over and then back down.
And I'm going to use Song of Rest.
What do?
Any friendly creatures who can hear this performance, who regain hit points at the end of a short rest by spending one or more hit die, each of those creatures regain an extra d6 on top of that.
Oh, yay!
As like Emerald is just like kind of like playing this tune, this magical aura just kind of like sweeps through everybody as it just kind of replenishes y'all's strength.
Yeah.
I take y'all chill for about an hour then, I guess.
Wish I get my key back.
Yeah.
I make
As
sure
y'all are-
Kilveth stays unconscious for...
I was gonna say for this
First day.
hour, like every 10 or so minutes, you're just like night.
Just go to
I have
sleep.
some brain
Just go to
damage.
sleep.
I feel like after, like, the second knockout, that's gonna hold for a while, because at that point we're talking, like, multiple concussive forces
Right.
to the dome.
After about an hour, I'd say Cricket, Fida, and Garrick are both looking a lot better. A little bit more rested. Kilveth is starting to come around too. Every time she just kind of like as she wakes, she's like looking up at Stalker.
The last
Garrick.
time she wakes up, towards the end of that short rest, Saphira is no longer a werewolf. She looks like herself again.
Garrick
Did you
just
just
kind of
like transform back, or is it just like a poof?
Ninja
That's
smoke.
up to Trail.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just like sexy no jutsu, like.
I always say you just see just a small revert just back into regular form.
Does she have
Ah.
clothes on? Is she naked?
Yeah, clothes are on.
Dang it! Ah,
I mean, what little clothing she wears.
what a shame. Give me
As
fan service.
Kilveth wakes up, Garrick just goes, I think it's about time we take her back into town.
I'm gonna look around to the rest of the party, and I think now's the time for answers before we move. Something tells me this one has a lot more influence back in the town than they do now. Just kind of glance down at Kilveth.
She just kind of, her eyes are kind of like darting between everybody, wide-eyed. Her breathing is just quick, just constant. Just... And she's
Lean in over her face. Concussions start to cause brain damage at some point, so would you like to talk now or in a bit?
I'd rather talk now.
Pat on
Good
cheek.
choice.
Good choice.
Pat's on the other cheek.
Okay, puts a hand out to do a pat cheek in the air from a distance. Yes. Even though no one will probably see that, but she's.
Garrick just kind of gets up off her legs and is like, I will let y'all handle this. I hate to say it, but I don't think I'll be able to control myself too much, considering earlier months. He just kind of takes a step back to allow you guys to kind of take the forefront. She just kind of breathes in, kind of looks at everybody, and then just stares at Tanithil for a brief moment.
Wiggling her sword a little bit.
Before she just looks at Emerald and she's like, What is it you want to know?
Emerald's gonna, seeing Garrick get up off the legs, kind of walk around and like step over her and just drop onto her like pelvis area so she can't roll. Why did you attack us?
Somewhat obvious that
I want to hear you say it.
considering that one of your companions is following me, I considered it a threat.
I consider it a threat that you knew where in the forest we were talking about without any prior knowledge of it.
Cricket's gonna get up and walk up and gesture to everyone. Investigation. Ally. Violation. Guard etiquette.
Just kind of looks between everybody and just keeps her mouth shut. She doesn't say anything.
I'm going to keep a very close look on her face. Why did you kill Isa?
Who says I killed Isa? Last I checked, the creature that y'all fought, y'all said killed Isa.
No smart-ass remarks. Answer the question.
I did. Who says I killed Isa?
Smacks the shit out of her face. I said, answer the question.
Like as you just smack her, like more blood just right out of her mouth. Blood just kind of like dropping down to the left-hand side.
As far as your town is concerned, they know us by the names we gave them. If you don't show back up, it looks like Rhea's gonna get your job, so...
I'm sure
Rhea
we'd
was
be
on.
happy to put a good word in for her. What with your behavior here?
Rhea was already on the way of getting my job. I figured a little bit of push would get her to leave.
And that push was orchestrating Isa's departure.
Possibly. All I had done was call forth to a deity to aid in my plight.
Who did you call to?
In all honesty, that is the actual strangeness of this whole thing. I had called out, and just almost 2 days ago at this point, I was told that my plight was answered. The voice was rather sinister. Females. She said that she had sent someone of hers to take care of it. And all I needed to do was to come here. I came here and was given the ritual prayer needed to summon creature that killed Eisen.
And looking at the circle you decided to cast this ritual in, it didn't seem weird to you.
These are sometimes these things are answered. Who actually created the ritual circle, I have no idea.
So you made an agreement with a creature of unknown power that you've never even met. That didn't strike you as dangerous?
Desperate.
What was the agreement you made? What is it that she demanded from you in return? Because there's a trade for that, Bridget.
20
What did
years
you
of servitude upon death. 10 years for 10 years for Eisen Newman.
10 years for Tanithil?
Yes.
Were there any other targets?
You can actually see like rage is actually kind of like forming in her eyes. It's kind of glassy. You can see that her anger is manifesting in the form of tears.
Rage crying? On
Pretty
the verge
much.
of?
On the verge.
Cricket mimics her voice, Kivit's voice, like, I was desperate. I was desperate. I was desperate. Why?
I just want to lose my status.
Status. Cricket. Is Emerald still walking or not walking? Sitting on
Emerald's still sitting on her, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. She's gonna just walk up beside where Emerald is, and then put a talon foot on, like, claws in mouth, and then kind of pull back so it's open, and then sticks her quarterstaff in her mouth. Don't speak.
You just, like as like you're like digging this quarterstaff into her ear.
I'm not choking her. It's just
Yeah.
a placeholder.
Like a tongue depressant.
Oh. Okay, I was gonna
placeholder.
say, like you're saying, I thought like further in.
I'm not like, it's a placeholder.
I was gonna say you're choking this woman at this point.
Like a tongue depressant stick, just
Okay.
ha.
I mean, if she had bad gag reflexes, because I can't do tongue depressors. I just know.
There are many comments I could say, but I'm not going to.
You just practice. You just train. But
Otter. I can't cuss on stream.
You can cuss.
Okay, fuck you.
oh man, you should see my other character in the horror one. My God.
You're
That's
allowed
all
to
she
cuss,
was.
just don't get into like slurs or
Yeah.
extremely
We're not allowed to
offensive.
cuss when people drop points on that. And that lasts for 10 minutes.
I
Unless we
Anyway.
reset it.
It's never going to get all the way through. Anyway.
You are
that-
so lucky that isn't a thing for the horror game.
Right.
Oh,
You're just kind of like holding your quarterstaff like her mouth open.
just to keep. Stop. Cry. Cry. And she like starts to floof up. Shame. She, her family, you. Material. She takes the quarterstaff out. She bends down, crouches low, and starts taking her face and just looking, just kind of moving around looking. Violation, guard etiquette. Just pushes her head to the side. turns around. And she goes back to Fida and pats her again.
Thank you, Cricket.
Has she seemed to be honest with what she's been saying?
Roll insight.
You got it. A lot.
She's been honest.
25.
You can tell that she's been honest. Cold, but honest.
What I don't understand here, Kilveth, you go to summoning a demon to hurt your competition instead of just improving yourself. Instead of being better. Why would they keep you, knowing you did this?
Just
So-
quiet.
Something tells me whatever you made a deal with is going to have some time to wait for you. But it seems 2 sentences will be served here.
Three, technically. Wasn't the one that made the ritual circle. Whoever did, they served right along with me.
Then they serve, and they will deal with that when the time comes.
You regret?
I regret the attack on town.
Because it failed?
Because it brought us to
Because if I had just let it be, you would never have been none the wiser. I don't regret my actions.
Consequences. Consequences. They're
Well, I think we've
Is-
got everything we need.
unknown. Not just
Eric just
you.
kind of off in the distance. Just goes. I agree with Tenethil. I think we have quite enough.
If we can stop poking her, we could take her back in. Just take an egg down and start peeling it. And as I take my first bite with my mouth full, and by the way, you have terrible dueling etiquette.
Eric is just like looking at you there, Tenethil, and like all worriedness.
If the egg kills me, it kills me. I'm eating my eggs.
Anethel, I have to know. Does this take away her egg privileges?
You know, I've never given eggs to anyone that's in prison.
So I'm going to say that's a default yes.
I would have to suppose so. Lawmaster Kilvith, your egg privileges are hereby revoked. Take out my book and start writing her name in the column.
So glad you just didn't say we're yoked.
I did not say revoked.
Yet.
I would have. I'd been like, and Tenethil dies.
well,
Tenethil. Shiva is evil. Fida not evil.
Sometimes people get caught up into doing bad things, maybe for good reasons, maybe not.
Is there a particular reason as to why there's a connection between Shiva and Fida? Kilveth says.
Now, this would be a good time to put your staff back in her mouth.
this would be a good time for us to travel back to town.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for answering our questions.
This would be a good time for this. And then smacks. Out cold.
Yeah, I was about to say lethal or non-lethal.
Non-lethal.
I make sure she's still breathing. And Stalker, if you will.
Carry her? Sure.
I'm a little short-handed.
Aha! Huh.
He's allowed to pun?
I'm the bard.
Instantly just get up and begin walking off.
Zephyria just grabs her hands along with the sack and
Probably like maybe like 15 minutes of them walking back or something. Cricket's gonna pipe up. Everyone, I have a question.
No.
Vida, Kilveth. Who will be next?
Next for...
Victim.
Well, if we're talking being victimized by an evil deity, that could be any number of people.
yes.
I have been trying to find more information on her. Sadly, there is
Ancient.
not much. There is not much.
Ancient? Slumber? Hibernation? You woke up in the morning. Release. Already very dark. Vida, Kilveth.
You think there will be more?
There always is.
Was Shiva in hibernation?
In a state, yes. She was trapped in a stone. It was a large black stone about this big.
So now that she's out, more and more people may fall victim to her deals or manipulation.
Trail, has
There is
Zephyria ever met
always
a
a
tiefling?
push with a pull. There's always a wax and a wane.
I would say no.
Sun and moon. Shiva and
I slept through religious studies. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know much of the deities.
This is something I would have any knowledge of in my own studies and like my own.
Like it would be the counter to Shiva.
Hmm.
Not right offhand, I would say. But it's not something that won't be entirely hard to figure out.
I'd say I would try and recall information, but one, I'm not from around here, and two, I rolled a 2. Plus
Well, I don't
2,
think you have to
so
be a local
4.
to know the Pantheon.
What'd you say there, Tanithil?
You probably don't need to be a local to know the Pantheon, but there's no helping a 4.
No, but one thing I've found in travels is the Pantheon does shift from place to place. Some people have different deities. Some people follow different kinds of deities.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You do bring up a good point there. I'm going to continue trying to find. Like, I'm going to start looking into trying to find what the opposite is, or like the balance to this is.
Mm-hmm.
balance. Yes, balance.
For all we know, Fida, you said you came from a distance as well, yeah?
Yes.
For all we know in these parts, this being may even go by a different name. But we can look into it.
Destruction.
My father and brother, like my brother was a researcher, and my father, somewhat so, and far more than me. And they gave, or I have the books that they wrote their notes, like any notes that they could find on Shiva in. Like I did show you those, Tanithil. There was one more book that I'm still working through, but I haven't gone too far into it.
Temple in Azashar Dynasty.
The temple was in the Azajar dynasty. After I touched that stone and released this, it collapsed. I woke up on the outside of it, but it has collapsed. It is not possible to get back into it.
Speaking of that stone,
That's straight up happy dance.
Peanut butter and jelly. My brother bought me a peanut butter and jelly.
yum.
Sorry, you were saying, Star.
Speaking of that stone, you mentioned that you think your powers have been taken. Have
I'm
you
not
tried
sure. I
them?
haven't actually tested, but it would make sense that they were.
Because-
Punishment.
Wait, did I see her cast Hellish Rebuke?
Oh,
We
that's
weren't in
it.
combat yet, were we?
That's a tiefling thing. That is actual.
Spirit
wouldn't know
hasn't
that.
met any
You wouldn't
tieflings
know.
before.
Correct. Sorry.
And I would say
Fired off
probably
a few
not.
magical abilities.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know. I haven't actually tested. Actually, there's a tree over there. I'm gonna point at the tree and try and cast an Eldritch Blast at it. Let's find out for sure.
It just like as like kind of like raise up your hand and just like instant just smoke, nothing.
Well, that answers that.
Warlock magic. This is why rigorous study is the only way to properly learn magic. It doesn't just disappear on you.
To be fair, when I'm sure it disappeared, I was also being threatened with the ultimate punishment, as Shiva was screaming at me for when I broke that circle.
That is fair.
To scream at one thing. Hibernation. Maybe long time. Shiva. Weak. Threatened. Ritual circle. Destruction.
She may not have the power to punish you herself, only the power to stop giving you her own.
She
Is that
has
what you're trying to
leverage
say?
over me. She has my father and my two brothers. So not having powers, I'll live. I didn't have them from them.
Find balance. Use against Shiva.
She needs to be stopped.
Affirmative.
Cricket, you've had a very good idea. Would you like an egg?
Yes! Affirmative. Here.
Have an egg.
This
Yeah, she just-
campaign's version of like gold stars.
Yes.
An egg. I take it y'all are, by the way, having this conversation kind of on the move back
Yeah.
towards the town.
Yes.
As I would say that y'all are having this talk. Where's Saphira by chance in all this?
Either in the middle or the front of the group.
Okay. As like you're kind of like in the front and everything, Garrick will actually slow down because he was actually a little further ahead of you guys, and like as like he kind of like slows down and gets next to you there, Saphira, he kind of like climbs up your arm really quick and kind of like gets on your shoulder. And as y'all kind of like make y'all's way into the town, Garrick just kind of like whispers in your ear there, Saphira. Just been thinking about this on the way back. Was it entirely wise for Cricket to bring up both Shiva and Fida in the same sentence in front of the one that actually committed the crime?
As
I
I'm
mean,
not
who
there.
will believe her?
He's whispering. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not there.
I mean, who will believe her? We've got the injuries in the party to show that she attacked us.
Considering they just Fida confessed. Garrick knows that you confessed to Rhea, correct? No. Okay.
No,
He knows
everyone
we
else
were-
stayed outside.
He knows we went to Rhea's, and that's as far as I went.
Mhm.
I'm the only one that actually knows what happened in that room other than Fida and Rhea.
I'm just saying, they're wanting to get everybody involved. Wasn't the smartest move. As he kind of says this, you guys are arriving back into town at the North Gate entrance, if I'm not mistaken. It's late. I would say it's probably around midnight. The town is dead, minus the scurrying cat or rat along the streets. There's a couple of townsguard that are at the entrance of the North Gate as you guys are dragging, if I'm not mistaken, Kilvest's body.
Oh, she's
Who's-
hanging over
She's carried.
Saphira's shoulder.
She's hanging. Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure of that.
She is
Carrying
essentially sack, hands, sack, Kilveth on top of it. Which has to be a very uncomfortable ride.
It is.
Unarmored and without any
Yeah.
weapons.
As, by the way, no one picked up that dagger. I just realized that.
Tanithil did.
Oh,
I said anyone could have it that wants it, but I wanted to
Mhm.
check out the metal.
okay.
Mhm.
As you guys are kind of like arriving at the North Gate, the two guards are just kind of like wide-eyed. They're just like, as like you guys are kind of like approach, they automatically like kind of like draw their weapons. Like they're kind of like, what's going on here? And they're just like, halt. And they just kind of like walk up to you, like, explain this.
Oh, she
Explain
tried
what?
to kill us.
I'm blanking. What was the name of the dude that runs the town?
Mudrik.
Mudrik.
Advisor
Mudrik.
Mudrik.
That's the advisor. He's not the actual
Okay.
runner.
We need an immediate audience with Mudra.
If you plan on getting in the way of an active investigation funded by Mudrik, either bring us to him or please get out of the way.
If I'm not mistaken, but do you have any identification? He's like kind of like looking back around Saphir. He's like, is that Lawmaster Kilveth?
That would be, in fact, the traitor Kilveth. And I would advise you to bring us to Mudrik immediately.
He just
Violation
kinda-
guard etiquette.
He just says, "Yo," and he just kind of like holds up his sword, not in a threatening manner, just kind of like a, "Yo, wait right here." He just kind of like turns to his partner. He's like, "Go tell Sergeant Cowell that we have a
No.
couple of individuals."
No. No sergeants. This goes directly to Mudrik.
Investigation.
I am getting to that.
We are under his direct order for
I
this
get that.
investigation. Let us go there now. You can escort us there, or we can tell him that you are hindering the investigation.
I'll take y'all there to the Citadel entrance for the town of Creighton. I will have my partner go get Sergeant Cowell. Sergeant Cow will also go to Mudrik's office. I was just sending the sergeant to go get the advisor. It is late. And although y'all may be working with him, do y'all have any sort of proof of identification?
Do we
If
still
that
have
is a no.
that writ of payment to the shop?
No,
No,
I had to give that to
okay.
the shop.
Yeah. I take that as a no. So
You've
y'all
been
will
living
come with me.
under a rock?
Identification?
I am just following protocol, ma'am.
Have
I
I
will
seen
take
this
you-
I
guard?
need to give him a hard time.
Have I seen this guard in town before?
I would say no, because there's quite a few guards.
Okay.
I'm taking y'all to Advisor Mudrik's office. I'm not saying I'm not.
Okay.
Are we in the town? Like, are we
Yeah, y'all are
outside?
right
We're
at the edge.
gate.
Is there a shop nearby that's got something pretty? Because,
It's midnight.
It's midnight.
but is
Like,
there anything
you
on
see, like,
display in the windows?
Nothing that you can really entirely see. It is dark out.
What a shame.
So
We're in the drab part of
Shame.
town.
I'm gonna look to this guard, and the only reason we are being as guarded about this information as we don't know what kind of web this one has set up as a safety net. The less people who know where she's headed as a traitor, the better.
Well,
I would rather not a fight break out in the middle of your town, and she suddenly vanishes.
I understand that. That is why I'm only telling my sergeant. And I'm taking y'all directly to Advisor Mudrik.
Inside check. If they're telling the truth.
Yeah, all insight.
What is my score? I'm looking at a cat biting an arm. Okay. 16.
This smooth-skinned, blonde hair with brown eyes, looking no older than 16 years old, male townsguard who is currently shaking because of the situation, is being as honest
He gets up and just
As-
like open his face and is
as
like
a
looking at him
parent
like
who
squinting.
does not, as a parent who tells their kid, I promise you, I'm Santa.
This is this poor kid's first month on the job, if that.
He just got out of
This is
basic
up.
training.
Yep. Looking at him up and
So
down.
he just looks at you
Side
like,
eye.
I will escort y'all there. He's gonna go tell our sergeant.
Last clarification question.
Yes.
Are you with the town guard, or the guard that has been stationed around the town, outside of the gates?
Royal.
Royal.
You look at him as he's like dressed in the town's guard uniforms that Rhea Ravenwood was in. He's like, I'm just a regular town's guard of Creighton.
There wasn't that description, so I was clarifying. That's fine.
That's understandable.
As
Understandable.
long as there is no royal guard involved in this information exchange, feel free to inform your sergeant. Please lead the way. I don't know how long she'll be out for.
I can handle
Actually, as you kind of like say this, she actually does start coming back, and you just start hearing some groans.
Shut the hell up back there.
Are you just gonna hit her?
Mhm.
Like the town guard, like he's not even gonna like kind of he's just okay, and he just kind of begins escorting you guys to the Citadel. The guy that was with him runs off to go talk to the sergeant. I'd say to you guys,
she caused a lot of damage trying to prevent us from having the information we do. The less trouble she can bring.
that is the less information I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care to know this. I'm just doing my job on taking y'all there.
Sure,
Thank
you
you
don't want
for
to be an accessory?
How am I
What's your
going to be an
name?
accessory?
What's your name?
This is my third day on the job.
Name?
Like,
What
how-
do they
Poor
call you?
child alone.
like this guy is
Identification,
just
please.
You
in his
are
own voice.
you are doing just fine. Please leave.
like he just is panically leading you guys to the Citadel
you.
entrance.
Thank you.
As you guys kind of get there and everything, the sergeant that the other guy went and got has arrived. He is wearing town's guard uniform, but it's more of a formal attire. You can tell that he's more higher ranked than the others. By this point, Advisor Mudrik has actually met you guys actually on the steps. Just as you guys are walking up, you can see like he's just kind of sternly looking at y'all as y'all walk up. Yes,
Do you have someone somewhere secure to fasten this person before we continue this conversation? I'd hate for there to be more trouble.
question as to why that she's actually tied to begin with?
Traitor.
Oh, she tried to kill us.
I believe Traitor Gilbeth will clarify that upon consciousness.
Right.
She's the one who brought the creature to the town. She's the one who caused the death to happen. All to try and secure her job, by the sound of it.
And I'm going to mimic when I asked regret and then say her response of my only regret is like Tanith, I can't really remember.
So
In her voice.
and if a Kenku can mimic certain parts of a speech, correct?
They're very good at picking up words that are said by people, yes.
Yes, but they can also leave out parts if needed.
It would be an impressive performance for her to say a sentence without any faltering if she's trying to
Sure.
pick and choose pieces of it.
So
I didn't want to lose.
I'm seeing feet in the background of Ayana's.
Yep, there are definitely feet in the background.
Yeah.
Gone. What?
Yep.
Abort.
Sorry, that was distracting.
Background.
That
No, we
was the best ripcord.
Whoosh.
Full barrel roll.
You missed the barrel roll off the bed there.
Barrel. Anyway, that being said, as
Cricket
We don't need to
says-
use Cricket's memory as evidence or anything, but this is a
oh,
good start.
Surely there is a way to ensure she tells the truth.
there is. I will go get my judge for that. You can bring her to the Creighton jail. There's a chair there we can secure her to. Come with me. And he just kind of like beckons y'all with him. The two guardsmen that y'all were with, that one of which escorted you, the other one, like the sergeant, comes with y'all as y'all go inside the jail.
Advisor Mudra,
Yes.
if possible, leave the Royal Guard out of this. She had others that were following her through the woods that had vanished.
Considering the fact that the guard that the judge that I am summoning is a dear friend, I suspect he's going to be honest.
I'm referring to the guard of the town. If there are any Royal Guard left, leave them out of this move.
You mean the 2 talents guard that I'm bringing with me?
These are royal guards.
They're talents guard, they're not royal.
Good.
That being said, we cleared that up, I take it. And he leads you guys into the Creighton jail. He tells to the 2 talents guard, go get me the shackled chair out of her office. And you see them just kind of like wander into her office, and you just hear this like clunking noise as they pull out this chair.
She's
That's
a
gotta-
she's a feisty one. Keeps a shackled chair in the office.
Are we anywhere near her office?
Yeah, so like you guys go into the jail. On the far end, there's a door, and through that door is her actual office. To the right is the town's guard like bunkers where they sleep, and then to the left is where the actual jail cells are.
Lieutenant, I would like to go to her office and search to see if there's anything else that seems to be tied to this at all.
Yes, you may do that. The 2 town's guard, as they come walking out of her office with this chair, is going with you.
I
So-
pause both of the town's guard. I look
What?
at them both. I look at both of them. I stop them. I look
Okay.
at both of them. Who do you protect at all cost?
Town's guard just kind of like look at each other and look at you, and they go, "We protect the citizens of Kratom." I know just
And then she just and then walks away.
They're just weirded out by this as they continue walking forward and put down the chairs. They take Fida inside
Right answer.
Kilveth's office. I take it Stalker puts Kilveth in the chair.
Yeah.
As you do this and like begin to like kind of like shackle her down, she's beginning to kind of like wake up.
Are there shackles for legs as well?
Yeah, like there's one for the waist, one at each wrist, bicep, and ankles.
Okay.
Good
So
luck
she'll
getting
take
out.
the rope off and chain her up in there.
As she just kind of wakes up, she just kind of like looks at her. She looks at Advisor Mudrick. She's like, I would say I could. There's an explanation, but I've got none.
Rick is going to mimic the sound of a rattlesnake.
Advisor Mudrick just looks at her and he's like, any particular reason as to why you are tied up? Being dragged in like a traitor, as they say that you are. She just kind of looks at all y'all, minus Fida, who's still looking around in the office.
I'm going through everything in that office.
I'm gonna have you roll an investigation check, by the way, but I'm going to. She just looks at Tanathil, Stalker, Emerald, Cricket, and Garrick, and then back to Mudrick and just kind of. I was not the one that created the ritual circle to summon the Babao, but I did make the deal for it to actually be summoned directly. I had it target Isa Newman in an attempt to run off Rhea Ravenwood. When the investigation looked like it could possibly point towards me, I targeted Tanathil as well. I went to go cover my tracks when I noticed a certain individual was following me. Kind of find out it was Garrick. So I ambushed him in the middle of the woods where I could hear them coming up, and I bolted. I attempted to take Vida as a hostage in an attempt to get away. When it backfired, I attacked. Advisor Mudrik is just kind of shaking his head.
You were not alone.
I had 2 royal guardsmen coming with me who knew nothing of it. I said I just needed an escort to the outskirts of the city or the town. When we got to the ritual circle on the edge, I had them turn around. So that's when I figured out that Garrick was following. As she's saying this, by the way, another individual enters. A sturdy individual wearing some heavy armor, a brown beard, medium length, with some brown hair that's kind of like stringing down. And as he kind of like enters, he just kind of like looks at all y'all. He's just like, I take it y'all started without me. Advisor Mudrik just kind of like turns to him and he's like, just being forthright. I figured I'd try now.
The human?
Didn't think she would actually answer. He turns to you guys and he kind of looks to Cricket and you there, Emerald, and he's like, so far, his story is somewhat checking out considering the shape that y'all are in.
Yes, she has said just what happened. No lies yet, anyway.
Who are you?
The other gentleman that just came in,
Mhm.
as he just looks at you, just like, oh, me?
Yeah, you.
I'm the yes, I am the town judge for Creighton. My name is Tyrion Darren. Sorry. I know what I almost said without meaning to.
Name mix-ups.
Darian.
Huh? Tyrion Darren.
Darrington. Oh,
Why
how do I
is
spell
Otter
this?
laughing? I'm trying to.
Oh, because
Because changing that name right now.
And
Abort,
now you
abort.
realize.
Yep.
I abort.
Right, randomizer
Like
Steve
names
Darrington.
rolling through my head, and I'm like, this was random.
Like, why does this sound so familiar?
I was like,
oh.
The Darrington,
Oops.
which is a Darrington.
Does this judge
Mark
have shiny
Daniel.
golden armor?
Yep.
Right, Mark
With the
Daniel
robot.
is his name. Mark Daniel.
Mark Daniels. Mark Daniels.
Mark Daniel.
Okay.
I realized what I said as soon as thanks, Otter, for that.
Happy to help.
Like, I'm sitting here running through names. I'm like, I didn't think you guys would really ask for this guy's name, honestly. I don't know why I didn't think. Yeah, they would ask.
Also, is he a human? Like, is it just brown beard and hair? That's all he is.
He's
It's
human.
just floating beard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what I am.
Yeah, he's a paladin.
That's true.
God, that's embarrassing.
Oh, it just writes. It just has got the word paladin. Oh, okay.
And just like, I'm the judge for the town of Creighton.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
God, that's just sinking low right now here in the stomach. I'm just like,
No, you're good. You're good. It's a good name. It just came from somewhere.
Yeah.
So I was like,
That. Ugh.
You're
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
So, Mark.
That's all right.
So does this mean we need to start the testimony over again?
No. Oh no, not at all. She's being honest. As like he says this, she just goes, "I am the only thing I don't see is I didn't create the actual soap." Which advisor Mudrik just goes, "We will figure that out in due time."
Well, we do have a rather gifted archaeologist among us who has been heavily looking into it. I'm hoping Fida makes some ground on it in the near future. Do I need deception for that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Figured I'd clarify. What is with 21s in tonight? It's a 21.
Yeah, and 22s.
He just looks at Fida and he's like,
I'm not in the
"Have
room.
you come in?" Oh,
She's in the
has
office.
she come into any possible conclusions of the situation?
We know the possible name of the not deity, but the creature that this deal was made from, and that was confirmed by the trader here as one known as Shiva. From what we've found, there's not a lot of information on them, but it seems purposefully so. It might take a bit of digging and some travel to get concrete information, but
I'm
she
somewhat
comes
surprised.
from a family of archaeologists, so I think she knows what she's doing in that fact.
Well, when she comes to more of a conclusive answer, I would look forward to hearing from her about it. That being said, he turns to Mark and just goes, "If you don't mind, unshackle her and take her to a jail cell. We'll deal with the rest later." And you just see kind of like Mark kind of like begin to unshackle. He turns to you there, Stalker, and just goes, "You want to assist me in this?"
Can if you like.
As like he's beginning to like unshackle one arm and leg. He's like, "Just hold those for me." Kilbeth not putting up a fight as you guys unshackle her and escort her out.
Get some good rest for a few days, and the concussion will feel better.
Walk in the light.
Sorry, earlier pulled me out. I'm sorry, guys.
I thought you were holding a potato for a second.
Yeah.
Super
As-
side note, did you know there's a company that you can send people message potatoes?
Yes.
Like they actually
Right.
they print out a message on the side of a potato and then they mail it to somebody for you.
I told him. Anyway, as Kilbeth leaves, Mudrik just looks at y'all and just goes, "I appreciate y'all's assistance, by the way, in this endeavor. I am saddened by the turn of events. I just find it ironic. I just actually got done speaking with Rhea Ravenwood not too long ago. I thought about what you had said for a little bit. I went to speak with her about an hour and a half ago. I offered her a position to be an advisor, at least to the town guard and the Ashland Kingdom Guard that stay in the city or in the town. She says that she's leaving like she originally planned. So the irony of the situation is it wouldn't have mattered if she had attacked Isla Newman or not. She had been gone, and the competition, I guess, would have been out. I hope you don't mind, but I will pay y'all for y'all's assistance if y'all come by the Citadel tomorrow morning.
Perfect.
Did
Would
Rhea
100
say when she was leaving?
I think she said sometime tomorrow, maybe the next day. I didn't get a straight answer from her.
Okay.
I hope that when it comes to the payment wise, 100 gold each would suffice. I don't even know if Cricket actually knows gold, but Given's like, yes.
I know gold because I wear stuff, but it's just kind of like, is that good? She just kind of looks. She
Vera's
looks at
just
the
looking
others.
over to Garrick. I'm like,
Garrick just shakes his head for 2 days' work. That's actually pretty good. But I will have it ready for y'all in the morning. If that's okay with you.
It's fine by me.
Oh yes.
I
I
do
hope that's
believe
fine.
we could all use some good rest. It's been a long day.
I agree.
One last thing. Have you had a chance to look into those maps at all?
I'll have you those maps tomorrow. And he says this is, I've got some paperwork I need to write up for y'all. I'll see y'all in the morning.
I need a bath.
And he just kind of bows out and just kind of leaves the jail for Creighton.
Bye.
We'll have somewhere to wash up at the inn, Cricket.
Yes, there was
Just-
a place there.
Just don't go behind the bar.
No, never. No, never. I will give it praise when I get there.
It's so strange that those are sacred.
Just
Sacred.
never, ever going to clarify that with you guys. I just want you to know that right now.
Correct.
Please
it means
do not
very little to
become
Sphera.
too devout a follower of the bar.
I mean, I have no reason to worship it.
Okay.
It must be very powerful.
It is. It will ruin your life more so than Shiva.
On like hearing all this, Garrick's gonna just
You gotta be
get up and just,
careful.
Garrick's gonna get up and just like, I don't know about y'all, but tonight's evening of events have tired me. And he just kind of begins making his way. Leaves and kind of begins making his way towards the tavern.
Yes, let's
Mhm.
get back to our rooms. We're cutting into my reading time.
As I would take y'all go straight to the tavern.
I have nowhere else to
As-
go this late at night.
As you guys kind of like get to the tavern, it's beginning to die down. People are beginning to leave for the evening.
To clarify, am
Nice.
I there with them or am I still in the office?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Roll that
Forgot about that.
investigation. I forgot about too.
19.
19. As you kind of like look through the office and everything, you find on the bookshelf how should I say, a ornament type object that you're able to like kind of like turn. Like it just like as like you kind of like fiddle with it and everything, it's like locked onto the bookshelf, but it slightly turns and it reveals a key underneath it. And I would say that you'd pick it up and look at it.
I'm picking my key up and picking up the key and looking at it.
As you kind of you look at the key and everything, you remember that like as you were like trying to like go through the desk and everything, it was locked. There was a drawer that was locked specifically, and I would say that you would probably check that drawer, correct?
Mm-hmm.
As you do and unlock it, you notice a book on deities or deities and abyssal creatures.
Not like the books that we had that Tanithil had picked up at Derek's.
Correct.
Yep.
As you kind of do quick glances through this, you find entries on Babals and Shiva.
Is there anything for denoting any type of like counter to Shiva or like an opposite to Shiva?
Just Shiva, Babal, and other abyssal creatures.
Is there any new information I wasn't aware of with Shiva in this book?
I would say not really. a lot of the stuff that you've figured out so far, this one also had, but this one just had the information regarding like if someone was to like. Occasionally, plights can be answered if someone calls forth to a deity for a deal, and it kind of like paints the picture of like she most likely just called out to Shiva within just a matter of minutes after you'd gotten your powers from her.
Is there anything else in this drawer?
No, it was just deep enough for the book to actually kind of like sit in perfectly. But whenever I would say that you would remember that she like tried to like she was looking that day, and you guys try to like follow her eyes. This is about where her eyes stopped.
I wasn't in the room that day when that happened.
Oh,
I was out talking. I was out talking to Mudrak with Emerald.
Right. That's right. Oh, yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's what you found inside the office.
Okay, there was nothing else.
Nothing else that like kind of noteworthy. There was just a bunch of books regarding the like creatures of the actual continent of the Ashland Kingdom as well. History on the Ashland Kingdom, past civilizations like the Aramor, Kolvik, Vermorian Empire, stuff along those lines.
So I'm going to go back to the tavern. Like, I'm assuming they came and got me when they were leaving, or
Yeah.
have they left? Or have they left and I am now
No.
tagging along behind afterwards?
I would say that like they came and got you, but like shortly left, and you were just like kind of like following behind them. Good.
Okay.
All right. And as like you guys kind of filter into the tavern, patrons are beginning to kind of like leave at the same time. A gentleman of reddish skin, short black hair, it's kind of spiky on the top, clean shaven, dressed in what appears to be almost like a, how should I say, an armored suit to a certain extent. It's like it's very slim on the body, but there's like belts and everything for like possibly like maybe a dagger to hang off of or a sword. Tail that's just kind of like hanging out the back end, just kind of waving slightly. He's got horns that are kind of like coming up. He practically looks like a tiefling. He kind of moves by you guys. It's like, oh, my bad. I apologize. Excuse me, as he kind of like weaves by you. And
I check my pockets.
as you guys passing, nothing. But as Vida goes to go by him, he like purposely like kind of like bumps into her, and she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, Vida. My bad." As he instantly turns and leaves down the side of the tavern. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
We just met the devil.
The devil went down to Creighton.
That being said,
I gotta find Avenger.
before we go, Otter, if I'm not mistaken, there's a couple of announcements.
Sure. Yes. Make sure to tune in with us for the rest of the week. We have some games running almost every day. Join us tomorrow. Usually we run the troubleshooters, but we are on break currently. So instead, we'll be having a one-shot called You Awaken in a Strange Place, which will be run by Deca. And we're going to have some interesting faces in this game. I'd definitely come check it out. On Tuesday, we will have A World at War, which is run by Jason. On Wednesday, we have JT's new game, just started last week. Join us on Wednesdays for Falskalan Nights. Thursdays, we have Maddie's game of A Knight's Ransom. Fridays, we're free right now. And on Saturday, we have Stolen Cities, ran by Alex. And then we'll be back here next week for More
episode
of
of that.
Varinheim.
More of
Episode
Varinheim.
4, 5. 5.
5.
Mm-hmm.
5.
Yeah.
That being
Yeah.
said, next session will be live on Twitch. Won't be pre-recorded. So we look forward to seeing y'all then. Ciao.